Hello all sentient beings and welcome to the TransMissions podcast where we talk all Hasbro, Takara, and third-party Transformers! On this episode of TransMissions, we are joined by the Cybertronological Podcast as we check out Ocular Max's G1-styled Cliffjumper. We get a look at a transforming Millennium Falcon, and Wonderfest is getting an exclusive Evasion Mode Nemesis Prime. Today is Wednesday, February 7th, 2018, and you're listening to episode 263 of TransMissions.
Welcome to TransMissions, the podcast that stopped using a drinking intensity to gauge our shows after we started rambling past the 4-hour mark. I'm your host, Charles, aka Big C, and I'm joined by the excellent TransMissions team. Yusuf, better known as Yoshi.
Yo!
Jeremy, aka Yakko.
Hey, how you doing?
And Daryl, the Cybertronian Beast.
Hey, how's it going? Let's talk Transformers.
All right, and we do have some special guests. And Daryl,
we need to take a moment and address how sexy Daryl sounds. Because when you're sick, Daryl, you sound sexy.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Am I the new Charles right now, then?
Yes, you are. I want your album today.
Alrighty.
Well, fuck you too, Yoshi.
Anyway, Daryl, off with hostility there, buddy.
Daryl, put your new sexy voice to use and introduce our special guest for this episode.
Well, I was hoping you were because I was going to cough, but that's okay. I will just go ahead. We are welcoming two very special guests to the show this week. They are Kevin and Adam from the wickedly awesome Transformers show Cybertronological. And
why, hello.
There you are.
Too fast. I'm Kevin.
Hello.
Hey. That was Adam.
That's Adam. Okay, awesome. That was totally smooth. Okay. I
can't believe we practiced that.
I know, right? Okay, so
I'm having too much fun laughing at you guys.
How are you guys doing?
Doing great. Glad to be on the show finally.
That's
Sorry
good.
It took us so long.
It was a bit of a hardship, but I think you guys had like life things happen.
Yeah, you guys kept having kids.
Yeah.
Which is something to say since both of you are guys.
Well, I had one kid. Adam got married, and then I now have a wife who's 5 months pregnant, which is not something we've announced on our show.
Oh,
yeah.
We got an exclusive.
Exclusives on TransMissions.
Right on.
That's right. We got another microbot on the way. Yay.
Well done, Adam. All right. Well, so guys, for those of you who are not actually listening to Cybertronological, I don't know what the hell is wrong with you. Listen to that show. It is awesome. Kevin, give us a quick little elevator pitch of what Cybertronological is all about.
Well, basically, we watch every episode of the Transformers cartoon in chronological order, which just means we're watching them in the order they're on the DVD set that we both own.
Okay.
And then we crack some jokes. We talk through the plot. We have a couple of regular segments every episode, which, despite the fact that I just realized the show's bi-weekly, but we still call them weekly segments.
That's okay.
That's fine. I listened to a podcast that has weekly in the name, and they've gone bi-weekly for the last few months.
That makes me feel better.
So we were on your show
Yes, you were.
a while ago, and
Very special episode.
it was a special episode because I think you may have missed it if I wasn't listening and chimed in there that there might have been an episode coming up that you might not know about, and it was the really cool, really crazy episode called Scramble City. And so we joined you for that episode. And if you want to check it out, we put a link in the show notes for it. And, it was really fun. It's a really interesting episode to take a look at. If you've never watched Scramble City, I highly recommend watching it. It's a wild ride. And
it was a blast having you guys on the show. As a rule, we actually don't have guests on, so you're one of only 3 episodes that we've had guest hosts on.
Well, that's an honor, truly. Now, you guys are getting really close to the end of the G1 series here. What?
Yeah, the next episode is episode 93, and what we did was we took the animated movie and split it into 2 episodes. So when you add that to the 98 episodes of the cartoon, episode 100 will be our final episode as far as this cartoon is concerned.
All right. Now, I'm not going to ask you what's coming next because I know that's something you're working on, but what's coming? No. Are you've been teasing that you're planning some special things coming up. Can we announce one of them here?
Absolutely.
All right. One of the things that you're doing is you're going to have us on the show.
That's right. We've decided to pack the last 5 episodes, except for the very last episode, which will just be us. So the 5 before that, with a bunch of guest hosts, and we're having you guys on episode 98. The only people that are coming on after you are the hosts of Star Wars Minute.
Wow, that's pretty awesome. Oh, I'm excited to do it. So
we're looking forward to having you back.
Wicked.
Or having me on for the first time.
Yeah,
yes, that too.
No, Jeremy, you were there the last time.
No, I wasn't.
Was it just Charles and me, or was Yoshi there?
No. Jeremy was there. Yoshi was the only one who wasn't there.
Was it? Oh,
yeah, you did Scramble City with us.
Oh, I did.
Okay. I don't remember any of this.
Lines of dialogue and insane moments and everything.
Yeah. That was 2016. That was
fair enough.
That you have limitations on my memory is gone.
Those were the old days.
Yep. So, what else is there? What can you tell us about you two? Like, you guys generally record the show together, right?
That is correct.
We sit in a room together. We each have mics, and we do it old fashioned style laptops. But you guys are like advanced more than we are here. Live broadcast and everything. And this is amazing.
We're in different countries and stuff, so it kind of makes it hard. But yeah, no, I love the fact that you guys get together and you're buds, and sit down and watch an 80s cartoon together and have some buds, and and record it and have some buds.
This is probably just mainly a good reason for us to get together every other week. This is how we could convince our wives, like, hey, yeah, we need to hang out and do this podcast, because neither one of them think like people actually listen to us.
Right.
That also, that's basically where the podcast came from, because before we ever had a podcast, whenever we would hang out, we would sit and watch Transformers and drink. So one day we were like, hey, what if we basically did this, but then spoke into a microphone?
We told our wives it was like a job.
Yeah.
That was going to be my next question. What do your wives think of what you do?
You want to go first, Adam? Or
So, I mean, my wife basically just doesn't believe it most of the time. She likes that we get together and have buds and hang out together, but the whole that people actually listen to us, and like we've had people like email us and stuff and say that they listen to us while they're at work and this and that. She's like, I don't even like listening to you while you're at home half the time. Why do they want to listen to you at work?
Exactly.
My wife listens to every episode and critiques it in depth, but just can't believe that she's not the only listener.
Are you serious?
Yeah, she always listens, and she has given us feedback. There was an episode way back when where Sparkplug's brain got taken over, and he left his favorite wrench behind, and Spike found it, and we made a joke about, like, who has a favorite socket wrench? That doesn't even make sense. And when she heard it, she was like, oh, I bet Sparkplug's dead wife gave it to him right before she died and didn't understand how socket wrenches were. We were like, wow. So we said it on the podcast, and then we were getting tweets like, Sparkplug's wrench is my favorite part of your show.
That's hilarious. What you guys need to do is, I don't know if y'all are already planning to go to TFCon in October, but y'all should do that and bring your wives, because that's when, like, I know at TFCon Toronto last year, my wife and Daryl's wife were both kind of rolling their eyes when people were coming up to us talking about how they listen to the show.
Mm-hmm.
I think she would think I paid them off.
With not a lot of money.
yeah, exactly. Like, you know where all my money goes.
Well, that's awesome. We do have this set of rapid fire questions, and I'm totally going to run through this with you. Now, I don't know if you've ever heard them before, but they are a set of, yes, no kind of questions, and they go real quick.
Okay.
So I'll get you guys to answer them here, and just lets us know a little bit more about you. Okay.
All right. Sounds like fun.
Sounds good.
All right. First up, let's go Kevin, Adam, and then back to the next question.
Okay.
All right. Autobot or Decepticon?
Autobot.
Decepticon.
All right. And who's your favorite Autobot?
Optimus Prime.
And who's your favorite Decepticon?
Megatron.
All right. Transformers, Michael Bay movies. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5?
I guess one. I've only seen the first two.
Oh.
The one with the Dinobots. What is that, 4,
That's
right?
4. Yeah.
I can see tapping out after the second one.
Yes.
I didn't want to see that one.
All right. Megan Fox, Rosie Huntington Wheatley, Nicola Peltz, or Laura Haddock?
Well, I know one of those names, so Megan Fox.
All right.
I'm in the same boat.
So Megan Fox?
Yeah.
There you go. All right. This is a comics question, but see what you do. More Than Meets the Eye or Lost Light, Robots in Disguise or Optimus Prime, or Till All Are One?
The original Marvel comics.
All right. That works. I'll take it.
Robots in Disguise.
Well done. Third-party toys, yes or no? Do you know? All right.
I guess in general, yes. Just as a basic concept.
All right.
Totally, yeah. I like it.
Cool. All right. These are going to get easier for you then.
Oh,
Cats or dogs?
dogs.
Dogs.
Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Coffee.
Chicken or steak?
Chicken.
Steak.
Pepsi or Coke?
Coke.
Coke.
Burger King or McDonald's?
Ugh. Wendy's.
All right.
Burger King.
History or science?
Science.
History.
Xbox or PlayStation?
PlayStation.
All right. Call of Duty or Battlefield? Something else?
What?
Kevin doesn't like those games.
Far Cry 3.
Okay.
Call of Duty.
All right. PC or Mac?
PC.
Mac.
iPhone or Android?
Android.
iPhone.
What phone app can you not live without?
Gordon Ramsay's restaurant dash game.
I don't know. Half the time I hate my phone, so.
All right. That's an actual app, Kevin?
Yeah.
All right. Marvel or DC?
Oh, Marvel.
Marvel.
And who is your favorite Marvel character?
Spider-Man.
Iron Man.
All right. Stallone or Schwarzenegger?
Ooh, that's a tough one, man. Stallone by a hair.
Stallone all the way.
All right. Zoe Saldana, Scarlett Johansson, or Maggie Q?
Zoe Saldana.
Scarlett Johansson.
All right. Twilight or Hunger Games?
Hunger Games.
Hunger Games.
Pixar or DreamWorks?
Pixar.
Pixar.
Star Wars or Star Trek?
Star Wars, but I do like Star Trek quite a bit.
Star Wars.
All right. The Simpsons, Family Guy, or Rick and Morty?
Ooh, that was a curveball right there at the end. I did not see that coming. I guess I'm going to go with Rick and Morty.
Simpsons.
All right. Walking Dead or Game of Thrones?
Oh, he's making us split the baby now. I guess Game of Thrones.
I'm going to go Walking Dead.
All right. NFL, MLB, NHL, UFC, or NBA?
Adam is laughing because right now he's not sure if I know what you just said. But the answer is UFC. Thank you very much.
All right.
NFL.
NFL. Kevin likes the face punching game.
Yeah.
Porsche.
Punch other
Porsche,
places.
Ferrari, Lamborghini, or Volkswagen Beetle?
Well, dipping back into my preteen years, Lamborghini.
All right.
Porsche.
And the last question, blonde, brunette, or redhead?
Dark black hair, because that's what my wife has.
Yes.
Brunette.
Yes. We call this the what color of hair does my wife have?
Exactly.
Good. Yeah, good thinking.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's it, guys. Thanks for running the
fun.
gauntlet with us.
Thank you. I learned a lot about Adam. I don't know if I like him as much anymore.
Yeah, you guys really didn't match up on a lot of those there. Are you sure you like each other that much?
When you mentioned rapid fire questions, I got a little worried. I started to sweat here a little bit.
Have you guys talked about Transformers before with each other? I mean, the fact that you're both on opposite sides there, and I feel like you're going to butt heads a lot with one person for Prime and one person for Megatron.
I'm not going to lie. Like, as I said Autobot, I was like, why did I say Autobot? I think I was doing my standard, like when I play video games, I'm like, I'm actually going to try and be a good guy. But if you listen to our show, we pick our favorite lines of dialogue, and man, I miss Megatron.
Megatron is the greatest.
Yeah, he was.
If I'm not ready to commit to it, but if we do Beast Wars, we've already just we're worried that all of our lines of dialogue will be Megatron.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have seen Prime, but Megatron has some good lines there too.
Is Prime the one we watched? That we watched like 2-3 seasons of?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah.
Where RC's a motorcycle and it's CGI?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
We like that a lot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, I've seen a lot of that, all of Beast Wars and Beast Machines and G1, and I know nothing about anything else.
Well, we still haven't gotten Yoshi to watch Beast Wars yet.
Oh, it's like the greatest cartoon ever.
Whoa, careful.
I knew that there would be a lot of angry people on that one.
But you're right.
I'll give you best Transformers cartoon, not greatest cartoon ever.
Okay.
Maybe best Transformers cartoon.
I wouldn't even go that.
You haven't watched it either, Daryl.
I'm prejudging.
Daryl, you are really supposed to like it because it's a Canadian show.
Oh, yeah.
That doesn't mean anything to me.
If we cover it, will you watch it as we go through it?
No.
This is why we do a plot recap.
Yeah. No, I am hardcore truck, not monkey. I'm still in that.
Still?
Camp. Yep.
20 years later?
Yep. I'm stubborn, man. It doesn't work for me. I don't even like
some kind of disparaging thing against Optimus Primal.
Yeah, I don't even like Gary Chalk all that much.
Get off the show.
Yeah,
right now.
Daryl, cut his mic. Cut his mic. Anyway, I think this is a good time to move on before a fight breaks out. Before we get into some toy news, I do want to do a quick mention because we did get a very special new donation this week. Our newest donatron is actually he's a little bit famous in the Transformers community. So the IDW. Well. It's a relatively famous. He's famous to us.
Well known. Yeah, he's awesome to us.
So
especially when he makes special graphics based on things Charles says.
Yeah.
Like cramped or
yeah. Tom, I still haven't forgotten that that other graphic you made, but we won't talk about that because Tom, we've got a new donation from Transformers Comics letterer, the official IDW Transformers Comics letterer, Tom B. Long. He is now a duly appointed supporter of the TransMissions podcast.
A god among letterers, gentlemen.
Tom B. Long
is awesome.
Yeah, it's amazing. Thank you, Tom. And of course, it's not without he did give us a reason on Twitter. He told us, full disclosure, it's total selfishness on my part. I wanted 2 entries for the Megatron and 9.8 graded Transmissions exclusive comic.
So after the drawing, if he wins or doesn't win and then takes away his donations from that point on, we'll be looking for a new letterer to take over for Tom. And you guys got to step it up because I've seen the lettering on other comics and I'm not impressed.
Maybe there's a diamond in the rough out there that we just don't even know about.
We'll just have to
Yeah,
wait.
so-
Hopefully Tom's not shallow and isn't going to do that. He's gonna support us through thick and thin, regardless of the shitty things we say about IDW from here on out.
I'm sure Tom's not he's not a fair weather donatron.
Don't
He'll
speak for the
stick
man.
with
Let
us.
his actions speak for him.
I have faith in Tom. Tom, don't let us down. Yeah. So Tom B. Long, awesome letterer, awesomer guy. Thank you, Tom.
Awesome.
And yes, yes, awesomer. Exactly. I
I
said
think
it.
that's a word.
Oh,
We're just
I'm going
going
to start a list, a top 10 list. Crampter, awesomer, donator.
Now strike that one. But yeah, so as I alluded to, we do have a big mega contest coming up for all our Patreon supporters, and Tom joined up to get access to to get a couple of entries in that contest. So later in the year, we're going to be giving away an MP36 Masterpiece Megatron, a CGC 9.8 graded copy of our Till All Are One #1 Transmissions exclusive comic cover. We've also got a HasCon Titans Return RC, the exclusive figure that came out of HasCon. We've got a Transformers the Movie 1986 Blu-ray Steelbook. And we might be adding a few more prizes to that as the year goes on. So keep your ears listening, and
What's this about might be adding? We will most definitely be adding prizes to that.
Yeah, no, we have at least one more thing that we have in hand.
Checking out this MP36 Megatron toy. This thing looks awesome. How big is this thing?
it's pretty big.
Yeah. I don't know.
18
12?
inches, something like that.
I don't know. Give me a second. I can bring it up.
It's the same size as the MP10, the Optimus Prime. It's about that height.
I like that you thought that would be helpful to me.
It is
Bigger than G1.
Oh, this is not going to help you at all. It is 22 centimeters. That doesn't help you at
What is that,
all.
like a foot and a half? I have no idea.
Divide by 2.54.
I will not, sir.
See, right
Hold
next
on.
to it says also equivalent to average penis length. So there you go.
8.66 inches. So yeah, she's
Okay.
right.
It looks great. The model and everything on it looks very cool.
Yeah, it's a pretty good looking figure.
And it comes with a beat up chest and face, like if you want to have it displayed after he got tossed out of Astro Train.
Ooh, nice.
All right. Well, that's all the prizes coming up and more to come. So we'll keep announcing later on. But for right now, we're going to get into some toy news. And Daryl, as always, start us off.
All right. Well, we got a lot of news this week about one particular figure that we had seen prototype images of, or no, we had seen prototypes of at TFCon Canada last year. And this was Ocular Max and their Hellion figure, which is their masterpiece scale G1 Cliffjumper. And it's pretty cool. They now have it all in full color test shot, and they got a couple images here. And we've got a bunch of different people seem to have gotten test shots of this thing. So a lot of images came out this week from a lot of different sources. So we've got a bunch of different images that'll be in this show notes. But I wanted to point out one particular one that came out today, and that was the comparison image with MP Bumblebee. And they are about the same height, which you would hope, but the waist on this Hellion figure, it doesn't look very good. The hips on the figure are a little too far away from the waist, and there's a fairly substantial gap there. So I don't know whether that's going to be fixed. I doubt it, seeing it's in test shot phase. But
Could that be a mistransformation? Because
maybe
one of the other pictures we see doesn't have that gap. You look at that first
yeah, but
TFW image.
it is also being shot from up to down, which would hide a lot. You know, you're coming down on the image instead of going straight on.
Maybe.
Angles and all. I don't know. That's something that I saw the image today. I was looking and I was thinking, holy shit, this thing looks amazing. And then that image, the comparison image came out, and all I could see was the basically the legs hanging off of the torso. And I don't know. Hopefully it is a mistransformation and it gets corrected in a future post. But other than that, I love the way this figure looks. We've been desperately waiting for a masterpiece scaled Cliffjumper forever. The only other nitpick I would have is that the head is a little too small, but I think it's pretty good. Jeremy, do you have any other comments on it?
Well, I mean, I like, we've talked about various Cliffjumpers over the last couple of weeks. With that, who did that one we talked about with the belly?
Oh yeah.
But
Planet.
I can't remember. Yeah, but compared to that, having this one, the chest area looks great, especially compared to that Bumblebee. I mean, that looks like Cliffjumper. As long as that waist thing isn't like it's shown in that photo, I find very little wrong with this figure.
Mm-hmm. Let's go to our guests here. Kevin, what do you think?
Well, the waist thing is a little weird once you pointed it out. I don't know if I would have even noticed it. But all in all, I think it looks great. Just scrolling through these pictures, it's sort of like the special edition of the original toy. Like, if we actually known what we were doing, this is what we would have made.
Mm-hmm. The Masterpiece line has been desperately trying to make renditions of the original G1 cars, but there's an issue with Cliffjumper because it's a Porsche, but a kind of squished up Porsche, which didn't really exist in real life. So they are, when they make a Masterpiece car, they want to license it from the licensee and get proper permissions and get proper paints and all that stuff. Well, they go to Porsche and they say, well, we'd love to license it, but guess what? That's not our Porsche. That's not a Porsche. That's some kind of amalgamation of, our car and some other car. So, so they won't license it. And that kind of throws a bit of a monkey wrench into it. So it's never been officially made. So this is what is termed as a third-party toy, and it's unofficial, but it's still extremely high quality.
Yeah, one of the things I'm really impressed with is the interior of the car.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. The little steering wheel and gear shift and everything.
Mm-hmm.
That's a nice detail that I wasn't really expecting.
And it does appear. I mean, I think we saw it when we commented on it when it was in prototype form, but the tires, I believe, are rubber on this, which you do not see in modern Transformers anymore. Adam, what do you think?
The fact that you just said that they are actual rubber just blew my mind. I think that's awesome. Mm-hmm. And I have to say that I'm really impressed with the windows. I don't know why, but I really love the color. I think the overall figure looks great. But I will say, once he pointed out the waist, it's like I can't stop looking at it.
Yeah, it's hard to take your eyes off that. In the pictures from the other pictures, there's one where it's shot from behind and it doesn't look as bad. So, okay, hopefully that's somebody goofed.
It is a transformation error. Yeah.
Mm. I mean, it could just be a piece that wasn't pushed back in.
Yeah. Let's hope so, because this is figure that I have definitely been having my eye on as the one that I want to buy. And there are no pre-orders up for it yet. As of tonight, I'm just going to take another look. But yeah, I can't imagine this thing being $100. I think it's going to be a lot less than that, around probably 80 or so. But it looks like it's worth it. Charles, what do you think?
It looks good. I mean, I actually like the face. I think the narrower face looks better than the official Masterpiece Bumblebee face. I kind of don't like how wide the Bumblebee face is.
Cool.
So yeah, I think it looks good. Yeah, I hope the crotch thing is a mistransformation, but I also like how it comes with the his little sniper rifle or rocket launcher, whatever you want to call that.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like, I guess he has an alternate face, because in that picture it looks like he has an alternate face there. but yeah, it's a good figure. I mean, and I guess one question I mean, this is unofficial, so it doesn't matter. But for the official Hasbro or Takara one, the fact that it's not a real car, I think that would make it easier. Couldn't they just make it themselves without having the license Porsche and just because it's not a real car? Mm-hmm. But I don't know.
I think the fact that it's supposed to be a Porsche is the fact that it's causing the issue, right? It's made to look like a Porsche, but I think if they made it and made it faithfully like Ocular Max is doing here, like Ocular Max is circumventing so many rules to do what they're doing. And if they were to do that, they would have a big legal battle going on.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I just think Takara already worked with them on the Volkswagen Beetle, so
yeah.
There should be a way to work it out. You guys should work it out. Takara, Volkswagen, sit down, hash it out, get it done.
Yoshi, what do you think?
There's something about this guy that's his corners are just too rounded for me. He's like a vector drawing, if that makes sense. He's like a Transformers Devastation figure, just by how rounded and smooth he's looking. However, with that said, and that being a huge negative point for me, this thing looks like it'd be super fun to transform. There just seems to be some, just in looking at where the lines are and whatnot, he just looks like he'd be really fun to transform, but his looks are too easy on the eyes.
And that's a bad thing.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with you that his transformation does look pretty slick. I think it is. They've modeled a good number of bits after the Masterpiece Bumblebee. His feet look a lot like what they did with Masterpiece Bumblebee. But yeah, I'm eager to see what this guy does. I don't know what the whole thing with the little antenna out of the hood is. I don't remember that. Kevin or Adam, do you remember that from an episode?
Oh man, I was hoping you would not ask me that. Do you? We never came up. We didn't have like crazy Cliffjumper. So did he ever have something pop out of his hood?
I do not remember that thing at all.
In our defense, we've been doing this for like 3 years. So
Charles, do you remember?
No, I also was looking at that. Like, what is that? Why is that there? Is it a little gun? Is it an antenna? I
don't know.
I don't remember it.
It does look like the end of a gun barrel, but I don't know how that would work. Yeah. Oh well. I'm sure it'll be pointed out by somebody somewhere.
I found a screenshot.
Did you?
Let's see. View image.
We benefit from Encyclopedia Charles. Oh, there it is. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
So wondering if it's going to come with the little water skis.
Yes, we did see that. Remember?
I did.
Yeah, we did.
I was worried this was going to be a screenshot from our website. So.
No, it's from TF Wiki, so you know it's true.
Yeah.
It's from the Dinobot Island.
Well, Dinobot Island was forever ago.
It was also an insane episode, so it kind of makes sense that it's popping out of his hood.
Yeah. All right. So there it is. That's where that's from. Cool. All right. Well, I'm done. Jeremy, did you find anything this week?
I do. I have a prototype test shot of Perfect Effects PEDX09 Mega Doragon, which is their version of Beast Wars Transmittals 2 Megatron. And the images we see here are just the Dragon mode. We get several shots of it. This thing is detailed as hell. I mean, I really want to see what this looks like in robot mode, but the Dragon mode just looks amazing. And I mean, I know it is definitely a test shot because there is one shot that we see that like his tail has some rubber bands around it, keeping it together. But Adam and Kevin, you guys mentioned liking Beast Wars. What do you think of this?
So, I mean, it's very detailed, and I feel like there's a lot going on. It's hard for me to get past that. It's not painted with color and stuff, so it's kind of hard to focus on all the detail.
Yeah. Like, is this thing supposed to transform?
Yes.
Oh yeah, it will.
That.
This is just the very
I can't
first.
really wrap my head around that.
Yeah. So with these third plays, they will release these images of like in production as they're going through the process. So this is probably, if you tried to transform it, this would fall apart because it's like resin and like 3D printed plastic and stuff. But the final one, it'll be all painted up. I would imagine with Transmetal 2, they'd probably add chrome to it, and it would definitely transform.
Yeah, it looks great. I'm really impressed. I definitely want to see more of it, but for an early stage, it looks really cool.
I think my favorite part is the wings.
Yeah, I like the head. We don't agree on anything. Why are we doing a podcast together?
This is unbelievable. We're not friends anymore.
Like I said earlier, conflict makes the best podcast.
Yeah.
Yoshi, what do you think about this guy?
I worry that maybe he might suffer from too much detail. We seem to see that with third-party figures, where maybe they try to make up for a weak transformation with just a detailed-looking figure. So that's what I worry about. Definitely, more detail looks better on a figure that's not painted yet. So I don't know. Maybe these guys will break the mold, but it's also hard to say how far in development this figure is when in some of the pictures they've got rubber bands holding the thing together. So there's promise here. We just have to wait and see.
I'm curious. You've talked about fun transformation. You just said this one might, because it's so detailed, have a weaker transformation. How do you sort of define like what's a weak transformation and what's a strong transformation?
And I'm the worst person to ask for that because I'm not Daryl, for one. There have been toys that look great. Like I have the X-Transbots Cosmos. Looks beautiful. I fucking hate transforming it. It's a weak transformation. It can easily break. And that's my only thing I can compare it to because that's the only third party.
Well, sometimes if it just takes too long, like if it takes an hour to transform, where's the fun?
Well, some people like that, and I'm not trying to take that from them, but it seems like to me that in doing this with you guys for so long, that these kind of over the top detailed figures are compensating for something weaker that it does, like transforming. So that's my 2 cents.
Okay. Well, Daryl, what do you think? Since you're a Beast Wars toy guy.
I love this stuff, man. Yeah, I think it looks gorgeous. As far as areas of concern, the only part that I would point to is the spot on the top of the back where the wings kind of attach. There's a picture that shows that there's a bunch of ratchety joints for one of the access or one of the rotations, but where it actually attaches to the back, I don't see any kind of ratchet in there. There might be, but it just looks like a pin joint there, which can get really loose, and these wings don't look overly light. So if you were to mess around with this figure, and yeah, part of it is going to be really ratchety, but if you can't keep those wings up in a flight position or something, if you're trying to pose it really cool, this will be a really annoying thing to have play because it just will be all floppy. But
yeah, and I can imagine if you want to extend the wings, that puts even more weight on the
damn right it would.
Joints.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what you'd want to do is have those wings like at full. I mean, if you have the shelf space for it, obviously, but have those wings all the way out. Yeah.
So I mean, there's probably I'm anybody who's going to put this much detail into a figure, better is hell taking that into account. Because if you get this thing in hand and the wings and the legs are all floppy and they don't hold up, this will be a really bad thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be an expensive figure anyway. Add in the extra cost for, little beefier joints.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this was $200.
Yeah. Well, Charles, what do you think of this guy?
He does look really good. I do have the original Beast Wars Transmetal 2 Megatron. So the one thing I would say that this figure looks a little bit more angular than that figure. That figure looks a little bit more, I'll get, for want of a better word, more organic or rounded than this one. This really looks like it's playing up the robotic dragon angle. Mm-hmm. And the original Beast Wars figure is more, it looks more like a smoother dragon in dragon mode, and then the robot mode is as a manifestation or I guess an extension of that. So I'm curious to see how the robot mode will look in this one.
Yeah. Well, and you got to remember the Hasbro one did also have child safety laws to take into account, whereas this doesn't.
Yeah.
So, this one, I'm expecting mini sharp pieces on this that will, cut you as you transform it.
Yeah, if you've never cut yourself on a toy, you haven't played with a third-party toy.
I mean, definitely. I mean, you can look at the wings. The points on those wings look pretty sharp.
And the tail itself.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
The Hasbro toy's tail is made of that bendable plastic. So it's like rubber basically. It's not it's not hard plastic. So I wonder if they probably won't do the same thing with this toy. Since it's not Hasbro.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, if you're a Mega Beast Wars fan, I mean, this is probably something you're looking for and I guess to go with your Beast Gorira, the Optimal Optimus third party figure.
Yeah. All right. Well, that is all I have. So Yoshi, what'd you get?
Well, I am looking at a release here saying that at Japan Wonderfest this year, Takara Tomy will have an exclusive figure there, the Evasion Mode Nemesis Prime, based off the Bayformers Prime. This guy is mostly black with some red windows, some tinted red windows, and interesting teal gun. He is not sporting rubber tires. Daryl, this upsets me.
After that Cliffjumper thing, that's quite a disappointment.
It is quite a disappointment.
Yeah.
Well, this is official.
Yeah, this is officially a disappointment.
Yep.
Tell me, Daryl, can you take your eyes off the crotch here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I can. The original Nemesis or the original Evasion Prime didn't have rubber tires. The knockoff oversized versions did. If you wanted that, but I do think this is the first time that there's been an official, official Evasion Mode Prime in Nemesis Prime colors. So there's been knockoff versions of this figure for quite a while, but this is the first time it's been official. So if you want yours to be official, then here you go. But all in all, I think it's a good looking figure. There's nothing really surprising here about the figure in and of itself. The transformation's cool because it's that same Evasion Mode transformation. I mean, you get to the point where you're trying to figure out how many different ways can you transform an overcab truck, and they really did come up with an interesting way of doing it. If you've never transformed the Evasion Mode Prime, it's quite interesting. But yeah, it is still the movie design for robot mode. If you're not fond of that, then you may not be fond of this. But other than that, it's still a good looking toy. I love the deco, the Nemesis Prime deco.
Have other versions of Nemesis Prime had this tealish blue thing?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
that's a mainstay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Usually just around the windows though.
What do you think, Adam? Will you be adding this guy to your collection if you can get him, or get over to Japan?
Probably not. I don't know if I'm a fan of the Nemesis look. I'm just an original red and blue, go hard Prime kind of guy. I can't get over the blue. It's it stands out.
It does. All right. Charles, I still can't take my eyes off the crotch.
It is a mighty crotch.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I mean, I think, I remember way back, I think this was like maybe our first or second year of the podcast where, this had to be the first year because Age of Extinction was out, where the original Evasion Mode Prime came out, and Daryl got a huge bump on his YouTube channel for getting an early review up. So
I did
that. Yeah, that gives me nostalgia for this figure, even though I don't own it. But yeah, I mean, this is I think as the movie toys go, this is a pretty good figure. And yeah, if you're into the Nemesis Prime colors, I think it's a nice color scheme. But yeah, that's not me. But I think for those who like it, yeah, looks good.
All right. Jeremy, how do you feel about Goth Mode Bayformers Prime?
I'm a fan of Nemesis Prime as a character. Usually he is based off of the G2 Optimus mold. This one I'm not. It's just the Bayformerness that, I mean, I love the colors. I love like the black, red, and teal, how they work together, but I'm just not a fan of the Bayformer molds.
Gotcha. So, Kevin, I've spent enough time looking at this guy's crotch that I realize the tires aren't completely black on here. Did you notice that?
No. Oh, yeah. Now, as soon as you said it, yeah. Look, I have a lot of questions here. What the hell is Nemesis Prime? Is that from something, or is it just a toy that they made?
Yes.
It is from the 2000 RID line, Robots in the Sky show.
Okay. Was it in the show?
Yeah, it had a character named Scourge, which is a name reuse, but they did a black version of the G2 like oil tanker Optimus Prime.
Okay.
They did a black version of that as Scourge, and over the years that's become Nemesis Prime.
But wasn't it in when the show was in Japan?
Well, yeah,
Robots, wasn't it called Nemesis Convoy?
Was it? I'm not sure.
I think so.
That would make sense.
So this is kind of combining like the Michael Bay or the Bayformers, which I'm now going to use forever.
Yep.
With this other character from somewhere else. They're kind of combining stuff here, right?
Yeah, I mean, usually when you get an Optimus Prime, Takara in Japan will make a black version of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's developed quite the fandom.
Yeah.
The Black Optimus Prime.
I mean, I have like 2 or 3 different versions of the character in different molds. And Donabot Maximize from the chat here put a picture of the original one.
Well, I will say that when you said it was from the Bayformers, I went into it with a pretty negative idea because not to be. It sounds like you guys are pretty on board with this, but I just, from the first minute of that first movie, the designs of every Transformer were so absolutely hideous to me that I've never been able to get over any of it. That being said, for it coming from that, this is a good looking toy. I think the chest is really interesting. The blue, like Adam pointed out, the blue is a little odd, but for being fruit from a poison tree, it's pretty good, but it's not something I would be interested in.
All right. Well, Charles, I'll throw to you to desperately talk about your figure so I can quit staring at this crotch.
All right. So I'm calling an audible because they're
not a sponsor, Charles.
Hey, it's a football weekend. It works.
It's a podcast joke.
So I'm actually gonna bring up 2 topics because there was one topic that we left off the list, but I think we should get a mention because this was discussed in our Discord chat this week. That Fans Toys has put out a masterpiece scale version of Blur, and they call it Jabber, FT39 Jabber. And there was some discussion as to how this Fans Toys Blur version looks. And we have a few pictures here. He's also they're doing the version with a Target Master, so he's got a little Target Master partner. But funnily enough, he also has quite a mighty crotch here, so it's a theme for this show. But this is a prototype version.
The title.
I was just going to add that.
Yeah, so I think these are not at least the robot mode pictures here are actual test model images, and then the vehicle mode are all just renders here in this picture. And then we've got some pictures here of the test model with some of the other Fans Toys third-party versions of Cup, Wheelie, RC, Grimlock there, the Hot Rod, and yeah, just so you can see how he's in proportion with all these gear. So Daryl, I want to start with you. What do you think of this guy? Is this a worthy candidate for a masterpiece Blur?
I totally think so. I think that they are taking notes from official releases from Takara and smoothing out the lines, trying to make it look a little bit more cartoon accurate. And I don't know what's exactly going on with the crotch plate there, but that is definitely an interesting little design feature. The alt mode, even though we don't actually see it, does show in CAD, and it's nice looking. It's very sleek, very much a movie style blur. The figure though itself, it does look really good, as if you can take your eyes off that giant T in the middle of his body. I have seen already some people ditching their Unique Toys Buzzings, which is the Unique Toys version of Blur, which has been the stand-in for I think it's been out 2 years now. But there have been a lot of those hitting the market so far. And I say a lot when I say a lot, but I've only seen one, but it's starting. So if you're looking for a Unique Toys Buzzing, then start looking online, because they're going to start hitting the market. But yeah, this is a good figure. Fans Toys has a very large fan base, so I expect it to sell very well.
All right, Kevin, what do you think of this guy?
I think he looks great. My problem here is Wheelie is way too big. That's what we need to be talking about. Wheelie is like half of Blur and Cup's size. He's supposed to be tiny. But anyhow, that's I'm being facetious. I think the character looks great. I think the toy looks great. I'm curious why you think, if the vehicle mode is, it's just a render, why didn't they color that in?
I don't know. Sometimes they just do that. When they show the renders, they don't show them in color. I mean, it does take work to color in the 3D model. I guess they figure it's just to show the shape.
I think a lot of times it shows the different types of plastic used, or the different colors. So like in this, you see the little windshield that's different color because that's a different type of plastic.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. But all in all, I think he looks really, really good. Now, they're calling him Jabber. Is that for, copyright reasons?
Yeah. I mean, they can't name him Blur. Yeah.
Okay.
Blur is a trademark of Hasbro, so they can't name him Blur. So all your third-party figures will get alternate names.
I see.
So, Jabber, because he talks really fast like John Machida in the cartoon.
That works for me, yeah. And like I said, it looks great. I just, why is Wheelie so big?
All right. Well, when we talk about the Wheelie figure, we'll address that.
I'll drop in just for that part of the conversation.
Adam, what do you think?
Well, I'm gonna jump on the crotch wagon and say this is unbelievable. I can't get past that. But all in all, it's a great looking figure. I really enjoy it. I really want to see it in color. It looks fantastic.
Would you ever buy this? You don't really like Blur.
I think I would. I think I really do like this. Now that I keep looking at it, but I don't know about the vehicle. But I do like the actual, just the robot. I do enjoy the robot. So all in all, I think it's a great figure. I really do.
And I think we now have the official title for this episode is Hop on the Crotch Wagon.
Well, we have three title ideas here, but yeah, that's one of them.
He could rest a drink on that crotch.
The mighty crotch.
You could probably line up a few of them. Just line up some shots.
All right, Yoshi, what do you think of this guy?
All right, you ready for this? Once this guy gets painted, he's gonna look just fine next to his counterparts here. He's gonna match that aesthetic, and if you are into that, fantastic. This is the guy you want to add to your collection. However, I also want to point out this picture that I'm posting in the chat room. This makes him look like an awesome 70s sci-fi movie poster action figure guy, like Buck Rogers or Flash Gordon. He just looks awesome here. So that's a plus. This guy poses really well. Here's an interesting thought, though. I'm going to post another image in the chat now. I want you guys to take a real good close look at Cup for me. And if you notice, Cup has a nice crotch. It's average. It's not intimidating. But look at the guy. He's just got a hang down underneath his arm there. Just, I'm done, Charles.
It's okay, Yoshi. I mean, it's worth admiring.
It's intimidating to look at.
Daryl, you did not prepare us for the sheer quantity of crotch discussions that would be happening on this program.
I am sorry. Yoshi has a crotch fetish.
Nothing to apologize for. I just wasn't prepared.
All right, Jeremy, what do you think about the crotch?
I don't know what else can be said with this.
Absolutely, positively, definitely. Nobody can get the job done faster than I can. Nobody.
I mean, the figure looks great. Beside, it maybe they have like removable crotches and you can have a smaller one. But I mean, that's really the only downside to the robot mode that I can see. I'm not a huge fan of the vehicle mode, but I mean, they're just CAD renders. I want to see, real photos. I'm not seeing any wheels at all, so I'm not sure. I'm guessing they'll just be small wheels underneath to give the appearance of being, hovering. But yeah, I think, if you're looking for something that matches the Fans Toys aesthetic, this will be, perfectly fine once it comes out in this color and everything.
All right. And yeah, one thing I don't see the Target Master in gun mode. I see Blur's got another gun in those other pictures we've looked at. So I wonder what his Target Master partner looks like in gun mode. So maybe we'll see that later on.
Is it too long of a discussion to ask what the heck is a Target Master?
Oh boy, you'll get there.
Yeah,
you'll get there.
All right.
Yeah, that's
fine. That's good enough.
That's the rebirth, the last 3 episodes of G1. So
and you guys will be on part 1.
Hey, awesome. I have that on VHS.
I think I do too.
I still have the Return of Optimus Prime on VHS somewhere, taped off a TV.
So it's not the FHE release?
No, it's the Kevin release. My mother wrote the label so it would be more legible.
Maybe when we're on your show talking about Rebirth, we can go into a short tangent talking about the Japanese G1 cartoons.
Yeah. I'll keep this very brief. We talked about doing them and then we realized that like it would be so clinical because we would have to like sit and watch it carefully with subtitles on, and then all of our lines of dialogue would be us talking about translated versions, and we finally it's just going to suck the fun out of it.
Oh no. Google the star dub of Headmasters.
Yeah. You watch the dub version.
It is hilarious.
Okay.
So you don't even need to watch the whole series. 'Cause I haven't seen the whole series, but just it's a badly dubbed official version for like I think Singapore, Malaysia.
Just know Billy.
Okay.
Just go into it thinking Billy and the Power Pack. What is that? Billy and the Power Pack.
It's not an 80s rock act.
All right. Okay. Interesting.
So
I'll see if I can remember that with all the crotch information.
All right, we do have one more toy topic that I wanted to mention because this is something that also is personal for me because I actually do have this another version of this figure. So we talked a couple months ago about the new Transformers Star Wars crossover figures that Takara is making. We've already seen the Darth Vader TIE Advanced version, and now we've got pictures of the new Millennium Falcon. And like the original Millennium Falcon Star Wars crossover figure, this is a combiner. It combines from 2 robot figures, one being Han Solo, the other being Chewbacca, and they combine to form the Millennium Falcon. And I do have...
This was the topic Adam and I would have done. We got into it before you.
So Kevin, yeah, why don't you talk about what you think about this figure? What is this ringing all the bells and whistles for you?
Well, I remember when they did this they may have done it more than once, but they did the Star Wars Transformers thing before. I think you said you have the Millennium Falcon?
Yes, this was like over 10 years ago because my wife got this for me for Christmas one year.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly why, but I thought I didn't like them. I thought they were all kind of weird and ugly. And looking at this, my one big issue is what is going on with robot Han Solo's face and head. But Chewbacca looks awesome, and the Falcon looks awesome. So overall, I'm really impressed. It's not the kind of thing I would normally think I would like, but for whatever reason, giant robot Chewbacca is hitting every note for me.
Cool. Yeah, especially like the added touch of him having a bowcaster.
Oh yeah, he's got the bowcaster, and Han has his laser gun. So
yeah,
and then you don't get a lot of pants on Han, but like here we go again. The crotch area is at least blue. I guess his pants were black, but for whatever reason, the blue's working for me. And then Chewbacca's got a brown crotch. So yeah, I think it's actually really cool. The little tiny Chewbacca and Han Solo figures seem kind of superfluous to me, but the Falcon looks great, and Chewbacca looks great, and Han Solo looks interesting. So I actually like it a lot more than I thought I would.
Cool. Yeah, I mean the fiction was always, at least what you read on the back of the toy box, is that there's the Star Wars characters have re-engineered their ships to turn into giant robots. So the pilots are still they're still little guys piloting these ships, and then they just hit a switch and they turn into giant robots.
So this is less Transformers and more Gundam.
Yeah, I would say that. Yep.
Fair enough. That's cool too.
What kind of ego do you have to turn your ship into a version of yourself?
Well, you got to imagine there would be like easier things to do. Like, no, I needed to have like a Wookiee head, man. That's important. The crotch has to be blue.
It makes it easier to control if you can have the 1-to-1 correspondence of your body there.
Like even fake robot facial hair. Somehow it's like Pacific Rim. Like you connect to the robot better if it looks like you.
So, Adam, what do you think of these guys?
I believe the Falcon looks great. I love the detail. I can't get over the fact that the actual cannons on the top are just, there's no detail there. Everything else is detailed and looks great except for those. The Chewie robot form, I love it. Han Solo, I like his chest plate better than Chewie's. But other than that, I just can't get over those cannons on top of the Falcon. It's really just sticks out to me.
I wonder if those come off and form their weapons.
I think they do. Yeah, at least the Han Solo's gun looks like half of that.
Yeah.
I just feel like they could have just spent a little bit more time there. You did all the effects,
sure.
Just detailed all the wear and tear on it and everything, and you just pop those on there. I don't know.
Yeah.
Were guns even there on the Millennium Falcon?
Yeah.
That's what I was just thinking. I know it has belly guns, right?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking they were on the other side.
I think there's one on the top and one on the belly.
That's how I would do it if it were up to me.
Yeah, that's how it was.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, Jeremy, what do you think? I know you're a big Star Wars guy.
Well, I appreciate that this is the G1 Millennium Falcon, not the sequel trilogy Millennium Falcon, as evidenced by the different radar dish on top. But I mean, I think that the Falcon itself looks great, and I have to agree that the Chewbacca mode looks great. I'm not as big of a fan of the Han Solo half, but this, I mean, you're not really getting it for that. You're getting it for a Millennium Falcon that you can split up and turn into two robots. So,
yeah.
I think this looks fine. I still wish that it would have been possible to get, say, a TIE fighter that turned into a Transformers character, but we already know that Lucasfilm would never let that happen. So.
And Daryl, what do you think?
Well, allow me to pose this question. They've had this technology for 10 years at least, where they've been able to turn a Millennium Falcon into two robots. Why haven't they turned an Ark into two robots? It separates in the movie, it even splitting apart is part of its canon. So, I think that should be a logical, step.
Hell, I'd just appreciate getting an official arc.
I know, right? It doesn't have to fit figures in it. I mean, come on, we're not crazy. It would be nice if they fit figures in it. But
you want it to be as big as that G.I. Joe aircraft carrier toy?
Damn right.
Yes.
It costs $1,200.
But they only have to make like 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I think it comes down to, who's going to buy it. I think the Millennium Falcon is a much more recognizable spaceship than the Ark, unfortunately. So the market for the Millennium Falcon. I mean, I'm pretty sure the data will back me up on that, Daryl.
Yeah, that seems like a safe bet.
I don't know.
Star Wars movies still currently coming out. I think the Millennium Falcon will feature prominently in a movie this year.
Yeah, that we'll have just seen the trailer for a few days ago.
Nobody in this house has ever heard of Star Wars.
One of your rapid fire questions was about Star Wars.
I just put 2 weird words together. Either way,
should be
like
Transformers or GoBots. That should be the question.
And
Voltron.
Look, man, we've done a couple episodes about GoBots, so I don't want to go there again.
Either way, I like the way that the Millennium Falcon. I don't mind the Han Solo look. Like Adam said, I really do like the look of the Han chest plate. It does kind of give it a bit of a bust, which I don't particularly care about, but it does make it look a little bit more beefy. The Chewie one is more symmetrical, which I think is why it's more appealing. But the chest plate on the Han figure is particularly cool.
All right, and Yoshi, your thoughts?
What about the crotch?
He's nothing I'm interested in, Charles. However, this is what I'm curious about, and we don't know the answer, I don't think. On the toys that made us, there's that one gentleman who works for Hasbro who apparently has designed every Millennium Falcon ever and continues to do so. I wonder if he had a hand in this.
I would say he probably did.
I would
assume so.
So too.
Lucasfilm likes to keep things tight, and if they have one guy at Hasbro that does their Millennium Falcons, he probably had to have sign-off approval.
Yeah.
Even though this is a Takara joint?
It still wouldn't be made without Lucasfilm.
Yeah.
That's true. All right. Well, that's it for our toy topics. And now we're going to move on to some trips to the store. This is where we show off all the cool Transformer stuff we got this week. We do this as a video segment we show on YouTube, but we also have the audio right here in the show so you can listen along. We will describe all our purchases to you in loving detail. And we hope you enjoy it. But definitely check out that YouTube video because you can see everything. And Twitch, yes. We're streaming it both on Twitch and on YouTube. So check that out. And without further ado, trips to the store. So now in trips to the store, we usually show off some Transformers items we've picked up this week. Although since you guys this is the first time on the show, so anything you have, we would be happy to have you show off. But before we go to you, we don't like to make our guests go first. I'm going to throw it to Yoshi and let you go first because he's used to me making him go first.
All right. I don't have very much. I got my Emerald City badges today, so I can interview all the Transformers artists going to Emerald City March 1st through 4th.
Nice.
You're welcome.
Emerald City Comic Con, right?
Yes, Emerald City Comic Con.
Not in the land of Oz.
No. Seattle just likes to think that they are. I also picked up a comic, Daryl. And Daryl's the only one that can give me shit for this because it's not a Transformers comic.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so...
But will
I felt the need...
If it's DC, I will.
No. It's just not a Transformers comic. I picked up My Little Pony,
Oh my God.
This is issue 5 with Optimus Prime on the cover. I did not get this for the Killing Megatron price of $20 like Charles would get his. I got this for $30, and I just couldn't pass it up. So,
Is that a 9.6 graded?
Yes, sir.
Does Optimus Prime appear in the comic book?
Absolutely not. Other than on the cover.
That's a shame.
It is. And glary as fuck. Anyways. That is what I have this week, Charles.
All right. And now I will pass it over to our guests, Kevin and Adam, to show off your piece of Transformers merchandise.
This is all Adam. I had nothing to do with this, but it's pretty cool.
Okay, so I did not buy this at a store this week. I got this at New York Comic Con several years ago. But it's original comic art. I enjoyed the art, so I picked it up. Yeah, that'd be a good job. I enjoy that it has good pictures of Optimus, Megatron. I mean, it's got everything going on. There's a lot of battles going on. It was just perfect. I had to get it.
Do you know what it's from?
I believe it says it up at the top.
Looks like Pat Lee.
Battle Lives? Battle Lines. Look, sketchy writing up here.
Is it like what series?
TFCC Battle Lines.
Oh, that's the Collectors
okay.
Club.
Yeah. Right on.
Looks like the artist Dan Kahana.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We know him.
Cool.
That's awesome. Some G1 epic stuff right there.
Dan Kana is a longtime Transformers fan. He actually got a letter and art in the original G1 Marvel Comics, in the letters page when they were publishing Transformers art. He got his art in the back of one of the Marvel Comics way back in the day. And he went on to become a real artist.
Well, look at that. I just learned some history on my little thing that's been hanging on my wall for years.
Is it signed? You should definitely get that signed if you run into Dan at a convention in the future.
I don't believe it's signed. It may be on the back. I don't know. It's been in a frame ever since I got it when I got home. So
yeah, okay. That's a nice find. Good find.
Look at that. We brought something.
All right, Jeremy, we come to you.
All right. Well, this is not from the last week, but Daryl's record.
Put yourself in the big window?
No.
Okay. Cool.
I only did that so you could see the art.
Okay.
But my Daryl talking about the record he got last week. I happened to run across this record a few days ago, and I got this at TFCon. Well, I picked this up from Charles at TFCon last year. I purchased it much longer before that, but he was just holding it for me. This is it's what the Record Store Day 30th anniversary version of the 86 movie soundtrack. And I'd never actually opened it until today. So I had no idea that this awesome art was in there. And then if you open the flaps, you get Decepticon version of this art.
That's wicked.
Oh, nice.
So that's pretty sweet. And then the actual records, which I have nothing to play them on. It's 2 records. One's blue and one's purple. One's orange or red and one's purple. And so this is the first one, and I don't know if you can see it kind of there. It's got the Autobot logo etched on that one. The other one has the Decepticon logo etched on it. So this is pretty neat. Originally, I was thinking I would get like a record frame and hang it on the wall, but with that art on the interior, I don't think that'd be a good idea. Because I'd like to show that off. so I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do with this. But
cut it apart.
No. No, but I'm glad that, Daryl's thing last week motivated me to actually open this up.
I got it sitting right here.
Yeah. So that's all I got.
Wait, what was that?
That's what I showed off last week. It's my Attack of the Decepticons record.
Is that like an audio drama thing?
It is from 1985.
Nice.
Yeah.
But he also doesn't have anything to play it on.
Nope, I can't play it either.
My wife is going to hate you guys for showing me this because now I'm going to go buy a whole bunch of vinyls because I have a record player, so I'm going to listen to all of this.
Well, Daryl's, you can actually listen to that on YouTube. Someone,
that's right.
One of our listeners actually has like a bunch of those.
Awesome. All right, I'm going to go next because I know Daryl's probably got a bunch of nice things to show off. And I don't because I have a holdover from Christmas. This was something.
It's February.
My Christmas tree is still up.
Oh no!
So this is a Optimus Prime Pez dispenser with a little Optimus Prime body. And so this is the Robots in Disguise 2015 cartoon version. So unfortunately, Prime has a mouth here. That's really unfortunate. But this was a gift, and I really appreciate it. And Pez dispensers are always nice, and yeah, so it's cool.
You want Pez dispensers? I got Pez dispensers.
So yeah.
Holy shit, Jeremy.
Yeah.
That's cool. Somebody gave you that as a gift?
Yeah, my wife gave this to me.
And here we thought she was getting better.
No, she's awesome. This was not the premiere gift. You already saw the patent that I got. So
we did.
This was just a stocking stuffer. So this
I want you guys to know that Adam is currently looking up that Transformers soundtrack vinyl on Amazon.
You should be able to get it. It was $40 when we got it.
It was a limited release, though.
$40, you got it.
Oh, sweet.
All right, Daryl, bring us home. I know you. I'm gonna guess you've got a Power of the Primes item. I think I've seen you show it off.
I do have a Power of the Primes. I have a little bit of everything this week, actually, except comics. I don't have any comics. So I'm going to start off with G1 because we have our G1 friends on. This is G1 Sizzle. He's a Sparkabot. They are not in the cartoon at all. So, yeah, he's a fun little guy. Doesn't really do much of anything, but has a little rev thing here. And he's supposed to spit sparks out of his ass there, and he doesn't. So, whatever. I got a bunch of knockoffs this week. I ordered them, and they came in 7 days, which is a miracle from China. So, I am one figure away from completing my knockoff Devastator. So, this thing here, I need Hook. But
look at that crotch.
Oh, man. Amazing. I got to tell you, these things were under $12 a piece.
Wow.
It's ridiculous.
Those are huge.
And that's shipped. $12 a piece shipped from China. They got to me in 7 days. It's ridiculous. So I do have those three. I've got Bone Crusher here. Little high five action. And Scavenger for Yoshi.
Does it feel like a $12 toy individually?
No, they feel a lot better than that. There's definitely some differences, some changes that they made to cheapen the design, but there's still a lot there that makes it worth the $12 easily. So yeah, I highly recommend it. But this is the NBK version of the Devastator. There is a Jin Bao version of it coming out, which is oversized, so even bigger than this. I'm not sure how much it's going to be. It hasn't actually come out yet, but they're going to release it, I think, in one big gift set. So unlike this, you'll have to buy it all at once. I've been buying them individually. But a lot of people are waiting for that oversized version. So the last thing I do have is my Power of the Primes item. And I did find the one I've been looking for, and it's my Optimus Prime. Yay. So, yeah. He's pretty cool. Pretty neat. I did get a card with him, and it's not as funny as a Grimlock's, but it was Optimus Megatronus, and he harnesses the Fallen's strength for noble purposes. Kind of lame.
Humans. That seems like a route straight down to dictatorship.
Yeah, kind of lame, Optimus. Come on, man.
What do you think of like the look of the guy? He obviously is supposed to look a lot like the Masterpiece figures.
It does
on a retail scale.
I really do like it. And I don't know if the guys from Cybertronological have seen it before, but obviously this is the Power of the Primes figure, which comes apart, and the figure inside is actually Orion Pax from those early episodes. So you fold that Optimus head in and spin it around and undo the arms, and this is really quick, so I apologize, but there it is there.
That is cool.
So yeah, he's pretty awesome, and
that's very cool.
There's hands that pop out and feet that pop out and stuff like that. But yeah, it's a pretty cool toy, and here in Canada, it's $60, so it's not bad. But and you do get the Matrix in there as well, so you do have to open the windows two times.
Touch.
Yeah, so you open up one set of windows, and then you got to open up another set. And then there it is in there. But it's cool. I like it.
Nice.
But that's all I got this week, boyos.
I'm still looking for an Optimus Prime here. Yeah, I got the Rodimus and looking for the Optimus.
It's cool. I like messing with it.
Nice. All right. Well, that'll do it for Trips to the Store this week. Want to thank again our guests from Cybertronological, Kevin and Adam. Thank you guys for joining us. And yeah, we're great to have you on. And thanks. Definitely everybody check out their podcast, cybertronological.com, right? Yes. So we'll have a link to that. So everyone go check that out.
There is a question in the chat what the drinking intensity of this recording is.
On a scale of 1 to 5, it's an 8.3.
I think you need to drink every time we mention crotch.
It should be wasted.
Also, I do want to mention, I forgot to say it at the beginning, but thank you to all our Donatreon supporters. Those are the people who continue to give us money for some reason. Thank you guys for helping us keep the show running and do all the awesome things, and also collect some prizes to give away to you fine folks. So keep track of all the prizes we're collecting for our massive Patreon giveaway later this year, and also the regular Toy Hacks giveaway. So it's February now, so we're giving away another $10 Toy Hacks gift code pretty soon. And congratulations to Brad, who won the $10 gift code from January last week. So keep watching and keep listening. We really appreciate it, and keep enjoying the show. So go to our website, www.transmissionspodcast.com. If you want to become a Donatreon, support the show either through PayPal or Patreon, you can go to transmissionspodcast.com/support. And that's how you can find out how to donate to the show. We're back from our trips to the store, and let's move on to some convention news.
All right. In convention news this week, the big news is TF Nation 2018 pre-registration is now online. So you can head over to tfnation.com and register. This is going to be August 17th through 19th at the Hilton Birmingham Metropole in Birmingham, England. And it's £60 for the full weekend, $35 and $30 for just single day, Saturday or Sunday. And they're also going to have a Stan Bush concert, which is an additional £15 for full weekend or £20 extra if you're just there for the Saturday. And from what I've been seeing from people on Twitter, that it looks like the hotel rooms are going fast. So if you're planning on going to TF Nation, you better jump on it because it looks like it's going to be a packed house this time. And it's like we say every week, we wish that we could get over to the England and see this and go to this convention. The next thing that we have is Pete's Robot Convention has announced a custom class figure based on the Fun Pub Gorilla Pretender shell that they had made. This class includes the Gorilla Pretender shell and the weapons, but not the Swerve figure that the custom class is going to be making the Gorilla, be a pretender for Swerve. So you have to provide your own official toy, but you can get the unofficial toys to go with it. So that's kind of a little lame, but
this convention is a whole lot of this.
I think when Fun Pub shut down, or shut down the Transformer side of things, I bet Pete just got like a lot of their remaining stock just kind of at a huge discount.
Of course, he was selling it all to everyone at a huge discount. You don't think he bought all the cool shit for himself and kept it? And I was mentioning it to the Discord chat when this thing came up, but we talked about it last year. I am fully expecting them to announce, part of the convention will be come and see what the 2018, BotCon set would have been. Like, that was bullshit last year when you did it, man.
Yeah.
You have been out of BotCon for 2 years now. There is no 2017 set. There was no 2018 set. You're showing off a set of customs and calling it a set of what BotCon set would have been.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, I will say I do have like their Optimus Prime version of this Pretender shell, and it is neat seeing a Pretender shell, and that that's like something that they had commissioned, and it's like a good hunk of plastic, which is all a Pretender shell was. But yeah, I agree with everything else you said.
I'm upset for the people that would have bought this, on the big sell-off. This is a cool figure. I would have maybe bought one. Who am I kidding? I probably wouldn't have. But
right.
But still, it is a cool figure. I appreciate what they did there. And to just have him say, look, we bought a whole bunch of them and we're keeping them for our own, customization class for our own convention. Well, that's lame, man.
Yeah. But I mean, maybe they had the figures without the official toys to go in it. And
well, like the ad says, they can't give away the toy. Right.
Right. But anyway, that is all we got for convention news this week.
So does Swerve go inside the gorilla? Is that what's going on here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a full functional pretender. In the last year of the Transformers, like the official Transformers Club, they had this gorilla thing commissioned, and they released a couple different versions of this. The one I have has the official Swerve. They had remolded into an Optimus Prime colored figure with a Optimus Prime head, and then the little Target Master buddy there. Both of those figures fit inside the gorilla.
Okay, that's neat.
And then they did another one for Megatron with a different Pretender shell.
And that one was cool because that one was the original Pretender shell for Grand Maximus, I think it was. Yeah, a really old, really rare piece of Transformers
Well, both of the
memorabilia.
shells were new shells. It was just based on the original.
The Megatron shell was a recast. It was a new. It was a
It was an original shell. They just remade it.
Yeah, it was the old. It was the old one. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that's convention news.
All right. Well, let's finish up the show with some feedback.
Okay, and before we go through the feedback today, I just want to remind everybody, if you head over to transmissionspodcast.com/feedback, you'll have access to all the ways you can leave us feedback, email, you can leave a comment on a post, you can even call us and leave a voicemail, which we want to encourage because we want to hear everybody's sexy voice. And there's nothing better than being on a podcast and saying, "Look, Mom." So be sure to check out transmissionspodcast.com/feedback for that. Our first piece of feedback comes from Kevin Horn regarding our last episode, 262. I'm not surprised.
Go Avis.
What?
Go Avis.
Okay.
That's a hockey joke.
If it were the topics
Who
of
watches
toys or sports, I'd understand what he was referring to. But since he's not, I don't know. Our first piece of feedback comes from Kevin Horn, who writes, "I'm not surprised with all of the Toys R Us closings. All of the ones in my area seem dead and are never busy. However, the one thing I am surprised is in the newest Toys R Us location near me, it's one of the ones closing. None of the others that seem like no one is ever there is closing." Fuck. I don't know what you guys think. I don't know what the rhyme to reason is. I'm sure there's some sort of equation, I would hope, that Toys R Us is doing.
I mentioned this last week. I think part of the issue is if Toys R Us owns the property that the store is on, even if it's a crappy store, it's likely that they probably won't close it because they own the property. If they're renting the property, which a lot of the newer ones probably are unrented, rented properties, those probably are more likely to close.
That makes a whole lot of sense.
That's why you come to Transmission.
Okay, we move on to Jimmers, who writes, on a separate note, Big C Man, I heard that the Monroeville Toys R Us store that is closing is actually the Babies R Us location, not the actual Toys R Us. Is there any truth to this, sir?
Yes. So after we received this feedback, I did do some investigation, and it turns out Jimmers is correct. I was very happy to learn that the Toys R Us that is closing is not the Toys R Us store, but is actually the Babies R Us store. So the Babies R Us store is at 3700 the William Penn Highway, and the Toys R Us is 3735 William Penn Highway. So I was happy to see that, yes, the Babies R Us is the one that is closing, not the Toys R Us. So everyone can rest easy.
Move a lot of that Babies R Us stuff into the Toys R Us.
Yeah, but rest easy, everyone. Big C still has a toy store, so it's okay.
Fuck those babies.
Dodged a bullet there. Dodged a big bullet.
Yeah, that was lucky for me.
Finally, we're going to go to Facebook, where Rob sent us a message showing off his toy hack sticker winnings from the December Patreon contest we had. So we'll include a link to that so that you guys can all see what Rob did with his stickers, and it's pretty exciting. Can I talk about what he did?
Yes.
He stickered up his Trypticon, which looks badass, and I believe, Daryl, is not an easy job.
No, that would have taken hours.
That's tweezer work, if you ask me. But I don't know. So that's it for feedback this week, Charles.
Awesome, and Rob promised to get us some nice high resolution pictures, so hopefully we can post those up when the show goes live.
Sweet.
So nice. All right. Well, that is the end of another successful Transmissions podcast. I want to thank our special guests, Kevin and Adam from Cybertronological.
It was a blast.
Thanks for having us.
Oh, it's our pleasure. And we will definitely have you back on for Transmissions Alt Mode, which is going to be up in just a couple of days. So keep listening for that. And definitely check out their podcast, cybertronological.com. And if you're having trouble spelling Cybertronological, don't worry. We'll put a link in the show notes. You can just click it from there. And
just like it sounds, people. Just like it sounds.
It's Cybertron and then an O and then logical. It's not that tough.
Still, we'll have a link in the show notes just to say.
Oh, yeah, I appreciate the link. Thank you.
But yeah, definitely check out their show. They're doing all the G1 episodes in chronological order, and they are very close to the end. But I hear there will be stuff after the G1 cartoon ends, so stay tuned for them, an announcement from them. I won't, as Daryl said at the beginning, I won't pump you for any details right now.
What do you have going on?
You know what? Maybe we'll discuss it when you're on episode 98 of our show.
That's a good idea. Yeah. And again, also thank you to all our supporters, donatrons out there for keeping this show going. And we'll see you next time, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Later.
Goodbye.
See ya.
Thanks for listening to Transmissions. Remember, you can help support the show by donating to us directly via Patreon or PayPal. Once you become a donor, you will receive access to donor-only goodies, like donor-only contests, listening to us record Transmissions live, and getting Transmissions swag at 20% off. You can find links for this at transmissionspodcast.com/support. Subscribing to us on Stitcher, iTunes, and Google Play is also a great way to support us here at Transmissions. Every subscription we get helps us get better noticed on those services. Leaving us a comment and 5-star review doesn't hurt either. Be sure to come chat with us on Discord. You will find a link for Discord at transmissionspodcast.com/Discord. And of course, you can always send us an email at feedback@transmissionspodcast.com. Thank you all for listening, and we'll see you again next week.